everyone, welcome back to the Support the Spectrum channel. If you're new here, my name is Ryann Sutera. I'm a neurodiversity affirming speech language pathologist. So today we're going to be talking about why transitions are hard, what we can do to make it easier. Also, why is initiating certain tasks, going to social gatherings hard? How can we make it easier? So let's get right into it. Okay, so no matter what type of neurodivergence we're talking about here, whether we're talking about autism, ADHD, OCD, PTSD, etc., we're talking about a group of people who can easily become overwhelmed by sensory experiences. So when we're talking about why transitions or why social gatherings might be hard, we're talking about at its root the unpredictable nature of these things. We're talking about how I'm in this moment here, right? Saying like I am the neurodivergent person. I'm in this moment here and I know what I am sensing. I know what I'm experiencing and I feel fine. I feel safe. But when I transition to that or when I go to that thing, I'm not sure what senses I'm going to be experiencing. And since I am easily overwhelmed by sensory experiences, this feels safer to just stay where I am. Even if where you are is chaos. For example, I have worked with a client who has a really tough time transitioning going to bed, and they would rather stay in the chaos and anxiety of their overthinking mind and thinking of their to-do list, thinking what they have to do for the next day, rather than transition to a restful sleep because they're not sure what that sleep is going to be like. Am I only going to get 2 hours tonight? Am I going to have my nightmares again? Etc., etc. So even if where you are is a state of chaos, if you are used to that chaos, then that feels comfortable for you. Oh my gosh, ain't that the truth? You can be in the worst situation of your life, but if you've only ever experienced that situation, it feels comfortable. So we're talking about transition being difficult and social gatherings being difficult. It could be because of sensory overwhelm, potential sensory overwhelm. We're also talking about dealing with feelings of anxiety, dealing with executive dysfunction, your ability to organize and plan for new things ahead, for changes and pivots. So let's talk about how to increase the amount of predictability as much as possible to help your neurodivergent loved one feel safe, affirmed, and protected. Before you even transition, before you even think about going to the social gathering on Friday, on Monday, you're going to need to make 3 lists. The first list you're going to make is detailing out exactly what the schedule is. If you are going to Mark's house at 2 for a pool party, and then after that, they're going to axe throwing or whatever it is, you need to know exactly what is happening and when, the timeline of events, who's going to be there, how you're transitioning, how you're transporting yourself from activity to activity, the what, who, why, where, when, how, all of those things. Literally make a list of yourself answering those questions, right? And I will tell you why this is important. This is important for setting up predictability because now you know the variables you're working with, right? Now you know what to expect. Then you're going to make your second list. Your second list is all of your triggers and signs of dysregulation. So it's important to know what triggers you, whether that's sensory or maybe somebody making a certain comment or a certain topic being brought up. Everything you know that makes you feel dysregulated, write it down. Write down how you demonstrate your dysregulation, okay? Some people get really tense, make fists. Some people's faces get red. Some people start stuttering. Some people start having certain echolalia responses. Some people start doing a nervous stim. Some people bite. Some people shut down completely. Some people go into a freeze response or a fawn response. That's completely valid and that's real. It's so important for you to know what your signs of dysregulation are. So you're writing down your triggers, you're writing down your signs of dysregulation, and you're showing both that and the schedule to a trusted person if you can. If you can't, then it is up to you to see, is there any overlap between the schedule and my triggers? Is there anything on the schedule that is going to trigger me? How can I inform people that I'm triggered? Show them your signs of dysregulation, right? Let them know, hey, if I get really quiet It's because I am mentally going nuts and I need help. That's where we get our third list. Going into our third list. Our third list is going to be the go bag. Thinking about what items you are going to bring with yourself to help reduce the effect of the triggers from your second list. So let's say one of your triggers is high-pitched screaming, and you're going to a pool party with kids, so they're probably going to scream as they jump in the water or whatever. Noise-canceling headphones, loops, or at least headphones that just play your preferred whatever loudly, preferred music, preferred videos. That means you have to have your headphones, you have to have your iPad or iPhone, you have to maybe just have the loops or some earplugs perhaps. Or let's say that your trigger is you really don't like to be kissed. You know, so a lot of families kiss on the cheek when they greet each other. If somebody just walks up to you quickly and kisses you on the cheek, you might become triggered. What do you need for that? I really need alone time by myself and I need deep pressure. So you might bring a weighted item or you might squeeze something. You might ask someone trusted to you to come with you and like squeeze for you. Perhaps you really need to just, maybe it's something more discreet. You can just pop in a piece of your favorite gum or mint. Taste is a sense that can really pull a lot of attention from your emotional and survival brains. Perhaps you need to smell something you really like, keeping a little bit of your favorite like chapstick or something that you really enjoy the smell of in your go bag is very important. And the reason that sensory items help with dysregulation is because when you are dysregulated, the smart parts of your brain, and that's just a kind of a cute way of saying it. We're really talking about the prefrontal cortex. We're talking about logical thinking, decision-making, problem solving. That part of your brain doesn't have the energy it needs to be able to critically think. Because when you are dysregulated, all of the energy from your brain, well, I'm not going to say all, a lot of your energy from your brain gets pulled into your survival brain, your brain stem, and your emotional brain, your basal ganglia. These parts of your brains are there to support you in times when you feel you are in danger, when you are in a survival state. This is foundational evolutionary response to us evolving as a species. Back in the day, when we were surviving, truly surviving, any type of perceived threat meant that we had to have our emotional and survival parts of our brains talk to each other as fast as possible to survive, okay? You didn't have to think logically. If there was you should think logically, but you didn't have to as much, because if there was a bear in front of you, you don't have to think, oh, what species of bear is this? No, you just have to, I'm scared, I'm running. I'm scared, I'm fighting. I'm scared, I'm freezing. You know, that's where your brain is at that state. Now that we are, most of us, I think some parts of the world still experience that, but most of us are now dealing with stress that is more socially related, occupationally related, academically related, stuff like that. Maybe even health related. I hope not. But now that that is our threat, our brains still react the same way. They still send energy to the emotional and survival brains. And when we choose to turn on our senses, then we're choosing to pull energy away from the emotional and survival brains. Your eyesight gets activated here in the back of the head. Your sense of smell gets activated right here, like as the nose travels. Your sense of touch is up here at the crown of your head. Your sense of hearing is here at the temporal lobe, and tasting is in a similar region as well. So when you are choosing to activate those parts of the brain, you're literally taking energy away from those areas. So having a go bag and having sensory supports is very important. Please do it. It will help you. And you want to make sure that someone at the social gathering knows about these things. Someone of your friends knows how challenging it is for you to transition from something to something. Or if you are the primary caregiver, just knowing how challenging those things can be for your neurodivergent loved one. Because a lot of the times we do need co-regulation. We're social creatures, right? We need help from the people around us. So it's really important to make those 3 lists, have that stuff prepared, that go bag prepared, and not only have the go bag prepared with the items, but also print out a list of everything that is in the go bag and put that in the go bag as well. Put your triggers and signs of dysregulation also in the go bag. Print those things out, because I'm telling you, there are certain times when, because of dysregulation, neurodivergent people will become non-speaking and they might not be able to advocate for themselves. It would really benefit them to even have self-advocacy scripts on the list of triggers and signs of dysregulation as well, because if they are not able to speak that language out of their mouths, they would at least be able to touch it and say, I need a break. I need this regulation strategy. I need you to help me in this way. Or at least just point to the item. So for example, let me put this into an example of practice. I'm with my client at the park. We decide to have treatment at the park and someone screams really, really loud and they just freeze up, right? Freeze up. You have a sensory experience that was unexpected, but it was predictable because we set up the predictability for it before we even got to the park on Thursday. On Monday, we discussed triggers, sensory items to help with the trigger, self-advocacy scripts, and we included all the pictures in there. So I see my learner freeze up, I grab their go bag, I take out the pictures of the go bag, and I just hold it in front of them so that maybe they're not able to speak out what is going to help them, but they can touch it. They touch the headphones. Got it. Headphones on, right? That moment that could have been so much worse, that person could have been frozen for hours, days, weeks, has now become way less manageable, way more manageable because they had someone looking out for them. So all things to consider. You also want to plan your exit strategies or your buffer strategies, right? So if you can schedule throughout your day times to allow yourself for time for transitioning, let's say you have a really hard time at airports or some other forms of transportation, perhaps you can add 5 minutes before or after having to do something like that to be in a quiet room, a quiet area, so that you have buffer times to transition. Perhaps you're playing the same song every time to set up predictability for yourself and also set yourself up for, okay, at the end of this song, I know that I have to take my first step into that transition. Or if you're at a social gathering, using quiet rooms, quiet spaces to help yourself get some time to yourself. And the most important thing is you may do all of these things and do them successfully and do them well, and you still might have to leave. There is nothing wrong with requesting time off. There is nothing wrong with saying, I just have to go, thank you. There is nothing wrong with taking the time to listen to your body's signals and do what's best for you. And that is everything that I have for you guys today. Please let me know if you have any ideas. Leave them in the comments to add to this conversation. Let me know if this has helped you. If you think this could help someone else, send this video along, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.